Hello students, a very good afternoon to everyone and welcome to Get Set Law. So in today's live session, I'm here to take up all your doubts, all your queries with respect to MH-CET 3-year LLB preparation. So today's video will be about all the doubts, all the queries that you are facing while preparing for 3-year LLB examination, right? So here today we'll be talking about this exam only. So my after all the queries and everything that I'm getting with respect to the exam dates and everything, so since the earlier the exam was scheduled for 20th and 21st of March, right? Now with her notification, the exam dates have been postponed for 3rd and 4th of May, right? So the new exam time is 3rd and 4th of May. Now, in effect, you have 60 days to properly prepare for this examination. So, your doubts that now if I start preparing right now, can I prepare for this examination? Can I get into a dream college of mine if I start preparing right now? How to do it? What to do as of now? Everything. In today's session, I'll be answering all your questions. Whatever questions you have, make sure that you are posting all those questions in the comment section. I'll be taking up all your questions post this session. This session will give you some information about your 60 days, how your 60 days should look like for your preparation, right? So without further delay, let's start with the preparation. Let's start. And first and the foremost thing is about the exam schedule. So earlier this exam was scheduled for 20th and 21st of March. Now this exam is scheduled for 3rd and 4th of May. Another question that I get from students is, ma'am, how can I book the slot? I have some commitments in the morning time. Can I get an evening slot? Or how to know that which date I have my exams on? So to answer this question, first and the most important thing is, you do not have this choice to book a slot, whether you want an evening slot or a morning slot, or you want to appear for exam on 3rd of May or 4th of May. You do not have this choice. This information will be printed on your admit card. Admit card will be out 1 week prior to your examination. So for this examination, since the dates are 3rd and 4th of May, you can expect your admit card to be out somewhere around 20th April to 25th of April. Make sure that you have subscribed to our channel, because we'll be posting the information when the admit card is live on this channel itself. You'll get this information on this channel itself. So make sure that you have subscribed to the channel if you have not subscribed it till date, right? Moving ahead to the paper pattern. Paper pattern, again, this is one of the another significant changes that we have seen for this year paper, that 150 questions were asked in the previous examination, right? Previously, they used to ask 150 questions, and this year the number of questions has also been reduced to 120 questions. Though they have not changed the number, the time duration is still 120 minutes. You will get 120 minutes. So this problem of yours that time management is an issue is somewhere getting solved. But this is again increasing the competition. This is again increasing the cutoff rates, right? So this will automatically have an effect on high cutoff rates, right? So that is there. With respect to marking scheme, there's no negative marking, and the type of questions is MCQ based questions. So make sure that you are attempting all the questions, even the questions that you don't know the answers for. You're attempting that. You're not leaving anything blank in the paper, because there's no negative marking even for incorrect questions, right? So this is the basic pattern that we should be aware of. Moving ahead to the paper pattern, right? So the paper pattern consists of these 4 subjects. Language comprehension, where you will get grammar based questions. We'll be discussing the type of questions that you can expect from each sections, right? Current affairs and GK. So here you will get static GK questions as well as the current affairs question from this part. Next is legal reasoning section, the legal aptitude part. So your basic knowledge about the appointments, about the constitution, polity, right? So that those questions will be asked. Apart from that, you'll also get questions like facts and principle based question, assertion reasoning type of questions, the basic reasoning where you have to read the principle and apply the logic in the facts given, right? So that is another pattern. Next is logical reasoning. Here you will get the aptitude questions like clocks, calendars, blood relations, directions, these type of questions. So in depth we'll be discussing about the syllabus and the types of the topics that are relevant for this examination, or the topics that you should be focusing more upon, right? Before I get into the subject wise breakup, I'm taking, so I have compiled a lot of your doubts that I have faced or that I have seen students asking me over this duration of examination. So today I'm here to answer all these doubts. So some of the common doubts that I'm getting throughout, so let me take it up one by one, right? So first of all, ma'am, I'm a final year student, can I appear for this examination? So when we talk about the eligibility for this examination, if you are in your final year of undergraduate degree, again I'm highlighting this part, not from an open university, not a diploma program, it should be an undergraduate degree from any discipline. Discipline does not matter, science, commerce, arts does not matter, right? So it can be from any discipline. Undergraduate degree, even if you are in your final year, you are eligible to apply, you are eligible to appear for this examination. Next question that I get is, ma'am, I'm in my 4th semester, I'm in my 5th semester, can I appear for this examination? So to answer this question, those of you who are currently in your 4th semester, this is your 2nd year, right? This is not your 3rd year. You have another year, right? And your academic cycle through this examination will start somewhere in July, August. Your college will start, right? So you are supposed to complete your undergraduate degree before this. You are supposed to appear for your final year examination, the final semester examination, whether you are in your 4th semester or you are in your 5th semester. If you are able to appear for your final semester examination before July, August, then and your results are pending, then you are good to go. You can apply for this examination. But if your results are, if your exams will be over later than these months, right, then in that case you're not eligible for this examination right now. You can try it for the next year, right? So this is about who can appear, who cannot appear, and if you have completed your graduation, then also you can appear. One more question that I am getting here is, this examination, since you all are appearing for this examination after completing your undergraduate degree, so will you be getting a postgraduate degree certificate? So no, this is not a postgraduate degree examination. This is merely a bachelor's in law examination. So you will be getting a professional degree, but it will again be an undergraduate degree itself. It is not a postgraduate degree examination. To appear for LLM, you also have to complete a degree or get a degree in LLB, that is bachelor's in law, right? So that is there. Next is, can we start preparation now? So yes, if we talk about the MH-CET examination, there is no if I have to give you a clear idea that can I prepare for this examination in 2 months? Yes, definitely you can prepare for this examination in 2 months. You just need the right guidance, you just need the right strategy, and you have to be dedicated and disciplined enough to prepare for this examination, to sit and to prepare. To help you further with this, we are also coming up with a crash course, because I've seen a lot of demands that ma'am, please, if you can give us some information about the crash course. So if you are interested in preparing with us for this examination, write MH-CET 3-year LLB in the comment section, and I will share the details with you all for this examination, the crash course details that I'm coming up with, and this will help you prepare effectively for the next 60 days and to crack this examination. Now coming ahead, if sorry, can I start preparing right now? Yes, 60 days are sufficient with proper time duration, with proper strategy and everything. You are good to go for this preparation. You have enough time. So approximately, even if you are devoting 5 to 6 hours in a day, quality time, again, it should not be like you are sitting and you are scrolling your screen, you are distracted, you're not focusing. That will be sufficient to crack this examination and to get into the dream college of yours. Which brings me to another question, that please let me know in the comments that which colleges you are targeting through this examination, right? Which colleges in Maharashtra you are targeting through this examination. Okay, next is how much time I have to devote every day. That I have answered. So there's no fixed answer to it, although please don't take it by heart that Neelam ma'am has said ki okay, 5 to 6 hours, I have completed my 5 to 6 hours duration in a day and I'm good to go. So it doesn't work like that. It is mostly about your level from which you are starting. Let's say for me, I don't know anything, I'm a beginner, I have not touched anything for this preparation, it's completely new for me. So how much time I have to devote, it all depends on my grasping power, my dedication, right? So let's say I'm watching a video, right? I'm watching a lecture, and after that lecture I am devoting sufficient time to solve. So that lecture maybe somewhere is of 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Then I'm solving the modules, I'm solving the questions, right? So that is again taking approximately 1 to 2 hours for me to solve, to understand where I've gone wrong, to correct those mistakes, right? So these things are taking up time. Then I'm devoting some time for GK as well, right? So this is my day-to-day schedule, and then I'm also devoting some time for revision, what I've read, some time for solving the mocks, right? So these are some of the things that I'm doing. These are some of the things that I'm going ahead with, right? So this should be your schedule. This is how your schedule should look like, and this is on this your time will be decided. So let's say I'm very weak in GK. So I have to give a lot of time to remember, to memorize everything that is there with respect to GK, because I don't know the links, I don't know the stories with respect to GK. But on the other hand, my maths is very good, my AR is very good, my analytical reasoning is very good, right? So in that case, I have to devote less time there. My English is good, so I have to devote less time there, right? So there you can decide that okay, this much time is required, but approximately 5 to 6 hours in a day will be sufficient for you to prepare effectively for this examination. How to prepare? So I am here to help you out with this. How to prepare, we'll be discussing ahead in the video, that which are the topics important for you, how you should be taking that section, what you should be doing in that section. This I'm going to discuss in next few minutes, so make sure that you are watching this video, this session till the end, right? How to manage final year exams with the preparation. Final year exams with the preparation. So your final year examination, just let me know in the comments that on which dates you have your final exams scheduled, right? Your semester exam scheduled. And the very simple answer for this is that since before your exams start, let's start building some of the concepts, let's start solving some of the things. During the time of your final exam, you can either take up a subject that you are really good at, or you can take up GK, right? So if a subject, let's say English, I'm very good at English, right? So I can take up English and I can just give it a read. It will hardly require half an hour of my day or maybe 1 hour of my day. At the same time, I'm preparing, and at the same time, I'm also preparing for my final examination. So this can be a way out for you all, that any subject that I'm good at, particularly that I really like, I can take up that subject, or maybe GK, that I'm reading at least a page during my exam. I'm reading a page of any good static GK book. I'm reading for that, right? I'm reading from it. So that can be another way out for you to balance your exam as well as your preparation. Another important thing that I have noticed here is that your exams generally seems to stretch for a period of a week, right? So if you are taking if you are taking time off for 1 week and then you are preparing after that, it is also sufficient. This time is also sufficient for you to start preparing even after. So before your examination, I suggest that cover up some of the basic concepts. Post your examination, don't go in that zone that okay, I'm done with the exam, now I have to take a break for 2 or 3 days, because once the MH-CET exam is over in the month of May, you will have ample time to take a break, right? So what you can do is just vary from the next day itself. One day you can take off to shrug off that exam fatigue and everything, and from the next day itself, make a schedule, make a discipline, that this is how I'm supposed to start preparing. This is what I'm supposed to do for my preparation, right? These sorry, these are the things that I'm supposed to cover in today's these are the things that I'm supposed to cover today, right? So that should be your zeal, that should be your goal towards the preparation, and it is sufficient for you to prepare. Lastly, what is the safe score? Again, this is a very subjective answer, because predicting the safe score is not it's not it will always be very subjective, right? So when we talk about safe scores, those who just to give you some idea on the basis of previous year cutoffs, because again we have seen that this year the number of questions have also reduced, right? From 150 we are getting only 120 questions this year, so the cutoff will automatically be high. So in your mocks, if I have to give you some suggestion or tips on this particular part, that in your mocks, be it of any level of difficulty, try that your scores range somewhere between 90 to 105. So try that your scores range somewhere between that. So if let's say your level of difficulty is moderate of your mocks, then in that case also you in your exam you will be able to score well, right? So make sure that your level of difficulty, irrespective of whether you have a domicile of Maharashtra or not, see that your scores range somewhere in this category only, right? So that is it with respect to the safe score, because again without seeing the paper difficulty, without seeing the different slots that have been that were there in the exam, it is very difficult to predict anything. 120 questions, again we are predicting that the cutoffs will be high, but exactly what can be the what scores you should be targeting, this is again a very subjective thing. So on the basis of previous year papers and everything, this can be your target scores in the mocks. So that is it with respect to the questions that you were facing, right? So these were some of the common doubts that I was getting throughout the sessions that I've taken for the MH-CET. If let's say I've missed out on any specific question that you have asked me, please let me know in the comment box. I'll be happy to take up those questions again, right? So let's get started. Let's move ahead with what to do and how to prepare. As I was mentioning that in next few minutes only I'll be helping you out on how to prepare, right? So for preparation, few things that you have to do is make a schedule. This is one thing that I prefer to do even till date. So before I start my day or before I conclude my day, I always have a to-do list for to make sure that this is how my day will look like, and this should be a discipline that you should also build, right? Okay, so today I'm planning to cover maybe law of torts, today I'm planning to cover maybe grammar, or maybe I'm planning to solve 5 to 7 reading comprehensions, right? So this should be your goal, this should be your target, that this is how I'm planning my day, this is how my day will look like, right? So first and the most important thing is making a schedule, so that you know that these are the things that you are targeting. So this schedule should consist of the basic concepts. Let's say for somebody who's starting right now, this should cover the basic concepts. Apart from that, it should also cover the basic questions, the practice questions. So if I have learned the basic concepts, what about applying those concepts in the actual exam, or when I apply those questions, those concepts to solve a question, am I getting the right answer or not? So this is again another part, and the GK. So these are few things that you should be focusing upon in your day-to-day schedule. This is how your day-to-day schedule should look like. Next part will be solving the mock. One thing that I get, or one query that I get often from students, ma'am, I'm just starting my preparation, so is it good for me to solve a mock now, or is it good for me to solve a previous year paper now? Let me tell you something here, that yes, it is very important for you to solve a mock even when you're starting your preparation right now. This will give you an idea that from which level are you starting your preparation, and ultimately your progress will be determined. So right now, let's say I'm starting with a score of 70 or maybe 50, right? Let's say I'm starting with a score of 50. So now I have to improve it by 40 to 50 marks to reach that score, the highest score of 100, right? So this is what why I'm asking you that even when you're starting your preparation, start on the very first day itself. I would rather say that your preparation should start by solving a previous year paper or a mock. Why on the very first day itself? Because we have not started with anything. So remember one thing, that this is a competitive examination, right? So here you are not supposed to memorize long paragraphs and go and write it in the paper, and on the basis of the length of the answer you will get the scores, right? It does not work like that, right? So here when we talk about the competitive examination, understanding the paper pattern, understanding the types of questions that are being asked, and then seeing that your preparation is in track with the types of questions that are asked, or your preparation is in track with the paper pattern. It is not going haywire, right? So it is in track with the paper pattern. This is one thing which is very important, and that is why your preparation should start with solving either a mock or a previous year paper, to get an idea that this is how the paper looks like. This is where I start from. So this should be the second thing to do. Make it a habit, apart from this general routine, make it a habit that you are solving either one mock or a previous year paper in 1 week. So you are including this in your schedule on a weekly basis. Or if you have space, let's say you're done with your examination, then at least you're solving one mock and one previous year paper. That means 2 set of paper in 1 week. So one will be mocks and one will be a previous year paper. This should be your preparation. This is when you solve a full length paper, you get an understanding of your attention span, you get an understanding of your time management, you get an understanding of which part you want to solve first, which questions you are able to score, which questions you are not able to score. Everything gets clarified when you are able to solve these questions. Next, and the most important part that I've seen students often ignore, is not analyzing where you have gone wrong. It's okay if I have received out of 120 questions, I'm getting only 50 marks. It's fine. But why was I not able to get those 70 marks? Where have I gone wrong? Where did I make a mistake? This analysis is very important for you. So analyze that, okay, done, okay, I'm done with the mock. Now let me sit with this paper, let me sit with this previous year paper, and let me see that, okay, I've read this grammar concept. Why did my answer was not in sync with the correct answer? Where did I go wrong, right? So this is one thing that you are supposed to analyze. Or maybe, let's say I was not able to solve this question at that point of time. So what is the answer? Let me try solving it right now. Let me try eliminating the options and try solving it. Am I able to get to the correct answer or not? This should be your attempt. This should be your target when you are analyzing the paper. This will require, after sitting for the paper for 2 hours, this will require approximately 1.5 hours or 2 hours time for you to properly analyze your paper. And I suggest something here, that please don't wait for another week to analyze your paper. As soon as you're done with your paper, take a break of half an hour or 1 hour. Try to do it in the same day itself. If not possible, then immediately next day. But don't delay it further, because then you're not able to recall how you were feeling, what went wrong in that paper, what could have been better. So these things, then it takes a back seat, right? So make sure that you are doing it right on that day itself, or maybe a day immediately the next day, right? So this should be analysis. Work on your weaker areas. So wherever, let's say by analyzing or by writing 2 or 3 papers, I understood that my AR part is not good, or my GK part is not good. I'm losing a lot of marks in GK. Now this is your cue to work on this part, right? Okay, fine, my strength is English, my strength is legal, I'm able to score there. But what about the weaker part? If you are not able to improve your weaker part, you will just be a part of crowd. You will not be able to come to the top, right? You will not be able to excel. So that is where you have to work upon the weaker part, right? So make sure that you are focusing on your weaker areas as well. If you are not able to understand what to do, how to take it ahead, discuss it with your mentors. As I am here for you all, so make sure that whatever doubts you are getting, whatever issues you are facing, you are posting it in the comment section itself. I'll be happy to take up all your doubts and help you through this preparation, right? We are also coming up with a crash course batch, as I mentioned before as well, crash course. So you can also join the crash course. If you want to know the details, make sure that you are writing MH-CET 3-year LLB in the comment section, and I'll share the details of the batch with you all, right? Last is observe the time taken, the time that you have taken for this examination. Time taken for particular section, time taken to solve a particular type of question. Make sure that you're just observing it, that okay fine, if I was solving legal section, I'm taking approximately 40 minutes or maybe 45 minutes. This is where I have to cut short some time. Or maybe in GK section I've taken 25 minutes. I'm not supposed to take that much time. So observe, be a little bit observant when you're attempting your mocks, right? So be a little bit observant, sit with a analog watch there and just see that okay, this is the time that I've taken. Although the timer will be there on the screen also, but sometimes we are not able to understand, or we are not able to see that okay, this much time I've taken for one section, right? So just be a little bit observant, and then you can accordingly take a call to reduce the time there. And the last and the most important thing that I would like to highlight here is repeat the entire process. It is not a one-day journey. This examination is not a one-day journey. So I have decided my schedule, I am solving mocks, I'm solving previous year paper, I'm analyzing everything, I'm working on the weaker section, and then you have to repeat it again. So this is the mantra, the key for this examination, to crack this examination. Make sure that you are following this diligently, and I can guarantee you here that you will be able to get into the dream college of yours, right? So chalo, let's move ahead. I hope this was helpful for you. This might have given you some clarity on how you can start your preparation, what all things you're supposed to include in your preparation, right? So let's move ahead to the next part of this session, which is about what should we focus upon right now, whether it is time taken for the examination or the accuracy. See, eventually, when you see the number of questions, since the number of questions have been reduced to 120, the time will not be a problem eventually. Right now, maybe if you're starting, you might not be able to focus after 40-45 minutes, because generally human mind is able to pay attention to particular thing for a span of 40-45 minutes. Then we start losing our focus, right? So that might be an issue in the beginning, but eventually it will work out for you as you solve more questions. You have to maybe take small breaks of 30 seconds when you are feeling distracted, have some water, and then get back again to the question. The most important thing here for you is to understand in the beginning, it's especially for those who are starting right now, that please focus on your accuracy part. Focus on getting the questions right, the things that I have read, the things that I have already solved. Why am I not able to get those questions right? Focus on this part first. This should be your primary focus, and then the next part will be balancing the time. So after a week, after solving 3 to 4 mocks or 3 to 4 previous year papers, make sure the next part that you focus upon is your time management. Then you start being observant that okay, this much time I'm taking for this section, there I have to work, there I have to solve more questions for this section to reduce the time, to get a hang of this section, right? So this should be your next part. So this, I think this will settle your query that what should we focus upon. Moving ahead to the next part of this session, before I move ahead to the next part, whatever doubt, whatever query you have regarding the CET preparation, regarding this 3-year LLB preparation, make sure that you're letting me know in the comment section. After this session, I'll be taking up all your comments, right? So let's start with the topics that you should be focusing upon, and these topics I've taken on the basis of the questions that were repeated in the past, the type of questions that were repeated in the past, because the previous year paper gives you a clear-cut idea of which topics are important, which topics are not important, right? So here, when we talk about legal reasoning section, these subjects are important for you all. Law of contract, constitution, criminal law, torts, family law, and certain miscellaneous laws. The topics that were often repeated from this section is, okay, fine. Special contract, so bailment, indemnity, guarantee, these kind of contracts are important for you. The basic definition of contract, offer, acceptance, void contract, voidable contract, illegal contract, these things are important for you all. You are not supposed to memorize the section for contract or any of these subjects, except for constitution. Some of the articles are important that I'll come to later on, but for the rest of the thing, you're not supposed to memorize anything. Just understanding the concept will be sufficient for you all. Agreement, what is the meaning of an agreement, how is it different from a contract, illegal agreement, void contract, void agreement, these things are important for you all. free consent, right? So voidable, fraud, undue influence, coercion, these things becomes important. Indian Constitution, history of Constitution is the most important thing that you have to read here, right? History of Constitution. Fundamental rights. I will recommend few things that with respect to fundamental rights and fundamental duties, make sure that you are well versed even with the article number. Let's say if I ask you that which article talks about abolition of untouchability, you should give me an answer. By the way, let me know the answer for this particular question in the comment box, right? So, okay, fine. So here you get questions, and pay a little bit emphasis on constitution part, because you get questions like which right is available to citizen, which right is available to a foreigner. So these things are basic intricacies of the particular article of particular fundamental right. So make sure that you are not reading it upar se, you are properly reading this part, constitution part, because legal aptitude questions also come from this part itself, right? Jurisdiction of court, different types of jurisdiction, original, appellate and others. Appointment of president, prime minister, different constitutional position holders, who appoints them, the resignation, who administers the oath to them, everything you're supposed to know. Constitutional bodies, different constitutional bodies provided in the constitution itself, CAG, Attorney General, these things, right? Elections are also important for this term, so make sure that you are also reading about the election part, right? Next is criminal law. Generally offences against human body and offences against property are asked. You can also give a bit of reading to the general defences part as well in the criminal law. Torts, again, section knowledge is not required here. Give a bit of reading, the light bit of reading towards the new criminal laws that were enacted, right? Next is law of torts. Generally the questions are asked from different torts like trespass, defamation, nuisance, general defenses. So these are important for you all. Next is family law. We see a lot of questions coming from Hindu marriages, Muslim marriages. These things are important. UCC is also very important. So which is the first state after independence in India to adopt UCC, to adopt Uniform Civil Code? Give me the answer in the comment section. I will get back to you on the answer, right? Okay, miscellaneous laws, intellectual property rights like copyright, trademark, transfer of property, these things are important for you all. We have seen questions coming from lease, we have seen question coming from gift, right? So these topics become important for you all. So this is with respect to the legal reasoning section, the type of questions, the topics that you should be focusing upon, right? Verbal reasoning, reading comprehension, for sure you will get 2 to 4 reading comprehension in your passage. But you can start reading, you can start that, okay fine, let me read some of the articles, the editorials, these things you should start reading to get an understanding of the comprehension. The other type of questions are one word substitution, antonym, synonym, vocabulary. One thing, when we talk about antonyms, synonyms, vocabulary, pay a little bit focus or emphasis on the articles that you are reading, on the topics that you are reading. So whenever you come across certain words that are new to you, make a note of it, right? That will help you in understanding or building your vocabulary, right? Idioms and foreign phrases, Latin maxims are also important here, right? Active and passive voice, direct and indirect speech, subject verb agreement, and the basic grammars like articles, tenses, verb, pronoun, noun. These things are important. We see generally questions coming from this. Apart from this, error spotting, spelling errors, these things are also very important for the verbal reasoning section. Moving ahead to the next section, where a lot of students get stuck is the GK part, right? So generally we have seen a lot of questions coming from this part, like art and literature, award, Indian geography, rivers, culture, dance, everything, borders and everything, Indian cultures and festival, Indian economy, right? Important days, which day is celebrated as Human Rights Day. So these important days are important for you all. First persons, Indian economy, science, international organization, reports and indexes, different reports, different the rankings that comes in, right? That is important for you. Different policy decisions that the government has taken. This year in the budget itself, the different policy decision included by government will become important for you all. Committees and commissions, first backward class committee. So these things are important for you all, right? So this is a part from the static GK that from which we have seen questions coming in For current affairs, I would suggest that pay little bit emphasis on the important news, important events coming from the month of June to April. So from the month of June 24 till April 25. So this will be something which is important for you all. You can either refer to a good book, maybe a Lucent book, or maybe some monthly magazine, or any static part book, or maybe any current affair magazines. Even in our course, we'll give you the access to the monthly magazines and the static GK books, right? So that is there for you all. Next is logical reasoning. So here you get a mix of questions, right, which test your ability. How? First of all, analogy. You will get a lot of questions on analogy, different types of analogy, right? So identifying the pattern and everything has become important. Assertion reasoning type of questions, statement conclusion, which statement follows, which does not follow, statement argument types of question. These things you get. In the solving part, you get direction, series, coding, decoding, blood relation, clocks and calendars, odd man out, sitting arrangement, and puzzles. These are some of the topics that you should be focusing upon while preparing for the logical reasoning section. One caveat here is with respect to the quantitative aptitude. I've seen some of your comments on my videos that ma'am, maths, do we have maths coming in MH-CET? So see, ideally when you look at the paper, the paper pattern, right? Ideally when you look at the paper pattern that is there, or the section division that is there on the MH-CET website, they have not included quantitative aptitude as a part of the subjects, right, that will be asked. But from last 2 years, we have seen that they are asking in the CET exam 2 to 3 questions based on the basic concepts of quantitative technique. So once you are done with everything, give little bit of time. Very basic questions are asked on ratios, percentage, speed, distance, time, on these things. Just give it, maybe see the formulas, just see the pattern in which these questions are solved to score in those 1 or 2 questions, because these are very basic questions that you have covered in your till your class 8 or 9 preparation. Very easy, very basic, just few things you have to solve and you will get the answer. So it's not at all difficult, and 1 or 2 questions, not a lot of questions. So this caveat is on the basis of the previous year papers analysis. From past 2 years we are seeing this pattern, right? They are asking 1 or 2 questions from mathematics, from basic quantitative aptitude, so that you do not get any surprises in the paper. I'm mentioning this to you in beforehand, in advance, right? So this is all with respect to the questions, the topics that you should be focusing upon. I hope I was able to help you out. I hope I was able to give you answers for a lot of questions that were there in your mind. Can I start? How should I start? What to do? And everything, right? And if anything is missed out, if you want me to give you any more answers, anything that you are feeling struck with, this is your platform. Make sure that you are dropping in a comment. Make sure you are letting me know your query. I'll make sure I'll answer your doubts, right? And yes, let me take up the question. So ma'am, exam कितने language में दे सकते हैं? So for this MH-CET paper you get 2 options, ठीक है? आपको 2 ऑप्शन मिलते हैं. आप या तो मराठी लैंग्वेज में एग्जाम दे सकते हो या फिर आप इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में दे सकते हो. यहाँ पर एक बात आपको ध्यान रखने की है, that when you opt for English language, entire paper will be in English. Okay, entire paper will be in English. You have to solve the questions, right, in the English. When you opt for Marathi language, okay, then in that case only the verbal reasoning, the comprehension part will be in English. It will be in English. You will not get it in Marathi. Only this part will be in English, rest of the part will be in Marathi, right? So these are the 2 options available to you. While filling out the form, you can select your preferred language and they will help you out there, right? So your questions will accordingly reflect in your choice of language, right? So that is it. And if you have any other doubt that you want me to answer, please let me know in the comment box. If this session was helpful for you all, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, and all the very best for your preparation. I hope all of you do well, and yes, see you all in the next video. Thank you so much.